Okay, this is the white thumbnail version of the Max Verstappen audio in those last 5 laps of Abu Dhabi 2021. The interactions between Max and his race engineer. Now, the key thing that you need to actually be considering here is not just what is said, but what isn't said. If you've reviewed the other audios of all the other drivers in those last 5 laps, you will know that what that information is being given to the drivers is that same information being given to Max. And just the simple thing from the outset is every single driver is being told about the car behind them. Every single driver is like, okay, behind you, you have such and such a driver. They are on this compound of tyre. Let's see if Red Bull say that to Max. Let's see if Red Bull are in any way concerned about either Perez behind him in third, or when Perez retires, Sainz behind him. All important parts of the dynamics. Before I get into the audio, I just want to show you something. So this is the analytic view of the different videos that I put out, and it tells you the number of views that each of these videos has had, which again, by comparison with some of the videos that I've put out have now got kind of 20 to even 70,000 views. So by comparison, less than a couple of thousand views for a lot of these videos is not a lot. Not a lot of people in this world actually know what these interactions were between their drivers and their race engineers. So not a lot of people actually know that each of these teams was complicit with breaking the rules of the sport. But anyway, just to look at this Max, this is the Max Verstappen audio. This is the black thumbnail there at the top. And it's had 2,129 views, and the reactions to it is 116 likes. But that's only a 76.8% likes versus dislikes ratio, which means approximately 37 people have come to the channel and not liked the video. So these are Max Verstappen fans, 36 or 37 of them, that have come to the channel and don't like the audio of Max Verstappen in Abu Dhabi 2021. What's there not to like, lads? It's highlighting the fact that your boy is actually evidencing not normal behaviour. That's not the Max that you know, is it? That's not the Max that any of us know. Because when things aren't going Max's way, Max starts effing on the radio. That's why we have the beeps. That's why we have to have the delays of 4 seconds before we hear it, so we can beep out when Max isn't happy about something. Abu Dhabi 2021. Max was as cool as a cucumber, wasn't he? Max was a calm Max. Unbelievable, especially when the World Championship's on the line. We've never witnessed that before from Max. We've never witnessed it since from Max. What was different about Max on that day? I wonder. Anyway, we're going to go into the audio and we're going to break it down. And like I say, perhaps you can think about it this way as well. Think about what is not there, because I'll focus on some of it, but maybe there'll be some things in this that you'll be able to pick out now, and maybe go back and review this video with the black thumbnail, the uninterrupted audio, and maybe you can think, well, is there things that we should be hearing that we are not hearing? And if we're not hearing them, it's because there's a plan going on. It's not normal. It's not normal. So let's, without going on anymore, let's crack on with this. Right, here we go.
Max, there's a yellow flags at turn 14. Latifi's completely in the middle of the road, debris all over the shop.
So that's the notification given to the drivers. That's all normal. Latifi's in the middle of the road. Again, is it normal that they actually name a driver?
Safety car deployed, Max. Safety car deployed.
Again, this is a very calm response from the Red Bull race engineer. Picture the scenario. You are in a race. The World Championship is on the line. This is the championship decider. You are losing. Okay? You have almost no hope. Okay? You're resigned to defeat. You need some help from the racing gods. You need a miracle. Okay? That miracle arrives with an incident that can then bunch everybody up. That 12 seconds that you were behind are all going to be wiped out. You're going to have the opportunity to change onto fresh tyres, and you might, if there's time, have a chance, one last chance of seeing if you can become the world champion. Okay? That would be exciting, wouldn't it? That would be something. We might have a chance now. This could be our chance.
The road, debris all over the shop. Safety car deployed, Max. Safety car deployed.
Yeah, this is our chance. This could be our chance. All quite calm, aren't we? All quite calm. Now we're going to get the strap-on fanboy go, yes, it's because they're so professional. Doesn't work like that, mate. Doesn't work like that in the heat of the moment in competitive sport.
Dash positive. So say keep tight around turn 14. Keep tight around turn 14. Box and pit confirm, please, Max. Box, pit confirm. Strat 12 in pit lane.
There is no, pit confirm, box, pit confirm. Are you hearing anything from Verstappen? I'm not. Okay. No reaction from Max Verstappen. The guy who was getting his ass handed to him in Abu Dhabi, right? Now there is a chance that obviously we know what happens during a safety car situation. Racing is neutralised. All of the previously built up advantages are wiped out for everybody. We know that happens. So all we know is all of them previously built up advantages, Hamilton's 12-second advantage is going to be wiped out. What matters is whether this can actually restart or not, and that can only be determined by how long it takes to clear the track, how long it takes to make it safe. Then you have to carry out the mandatory procedures in order to restore sporting fairness to every competitor, and if that can be achieved in time and there is still time left in the race, then you will get a racing lap. If that is possible, Max has a chance. That chance was much greater than Max catching Lewis in those last 5 laps. He'd have needed to catch him at 2.5 seconds a lap. That wasn't happening. Now, you've got that chance, Max. It may or may not happen. How are you reacting to that, Max? Radio silence.
Okay, strat 8. Strat 8. Safety car's just picked up Hamilton.
Giampiero Lambesi, or whatever his name is, really calm. Really calm. You know, this is exactly how you be. The guy that you are the race engineer of has a chance of becoming a world champion, the first time that he'll ever become a world champion. Oh, yes. All really calm about this, aren't you, mate? Really calm.
So just following your dash. Safety car currently at turn 7.
How many laps remaining?
There's 4 laps including this one.
Which isn't correct. Okay, this is his lap 54. They still have 55, 56, 57, 58. Okay, so he's got this one plus 4. That's not like you to be making errors like that, is it? Red Bull. Now, if this was happening to me, what I would be wanting to know is what's going on. Okay, what is going on at turn 14? Is things, how quickly is the speed up operation going? How quickly are these drivers catching the back of the pack? What are things looking like? Are we looking like there's going to be a chance of a resumption of racing? Max here doesn't say a lot, does he? Max just asks how many laps we've got. If you are in danger of running your mouth and saying something which people might seize upon and expose the plot, it's best if you just shut your mouth and don't say anything. Just stick to the script, Max. Don't say anything, just stick to the script. Because you running your mouth might give cause for people to think, what's Max talking about here? What's Max talking about here?
Could I have mode 3 for now, please, Max? Mode 3. Just keep working the tyres. Keep working the tyres.
I think the ideal job for Giampiero Lambesi would be working in one of those supermarkets where it's cashier number 1, please. Cashier number 6, please. I think he's got the perfect voice for that. Very calm.
Okay, so the Williams is on a crane that's being moved out of the way now, but still stay hard left through 14.
Yes, this is just smooth, like every other safety car deployment we've ever experienced, isn't it? There is no jeopardy, there is nothing on the line, and I'm just going to calmly guide you through the scenario.
These back markers need to get out of the way. They should unlock themselves.
Yep, they will once that message comes through.
Absolutely right, Max Verstappen. These back markers, they need to unlap themselves. It's not about getting them out of the way, Max, okay? Because it's not that it's not that they're in your way. You see, you never lapped them. You weren't fast enough to lap them, okay? And so you don't have a divine right to be ahead of them. You have to be faster than them, and you have to be close enough to Hamilton, because he was fast enough to lap them during that race, and he passed them on the track. Now they don't just get thrown out of the way of you. Okay, you don't have that right. What needs to happen though is, because a safety car intervened in this race, Lando Norris, who was closer to Pierre Gasly than you were to Hamilton, he's disappeared off around the track. He's now at turn 16 or approaching turn 16. He'll soon link up with the back of this safety car snake. Norris will be left a lap behind him. So that's not allowed to happen. So what needs to happen is they need to unlap to restore sporting fairness to all competitors. It's not about getting them out of the way, because that's not that's not its purpose, Max. It's not to get them out of the way to give you a chance. That's not what it's for.
Okay, so stay online.
So we are on lap 56. This is the lap which the unlapping has to take place. Okay, once the last lap car has passed the leader, the safety car will return to the pits at the end of the following lap. So they need to be released lap 56. The safety car returns to the pits at the end of lap 57. That's the only way that lap 58 can be a racing lap. Okay, once it is safe to do so, cars that have been lapped, any car that has been lapped by the leader is required, okay, to pass the leader, and off they go. That's a requirement of the regulations. There is no interpretation of that. You cannot resume racing with lapped cars in situ. That is definitive. You cannot do that. The only time you would do that is if they do not qualify to be released. And that is cars that got themselves lapped during that safety car period after the safety car had crossed the safety car line for the second time. You're no longer eligible. You disadvantaged yourself in that. But otherwise, you have to unlap. All 8 of those lapped cars were required to unlap. So, let's just rewind this.
Okay, so stay online, Max. Those lap cars are now being allowed to overtake.
So, the initial order given, stay online, those lapped cars are now being allowed to overtake. Had this have been able to happen, there would be no argument. And let's be clear about this. Had Nicholas Latifi's front brake not caught fire, had there not been the need to deploy a fire extinguisher to put the fire out, it's highly likely that this could have taken place at this moment in time. So what was done, whether or not Latifi's crash was authentic or not, They could have carried this out in accordance with the regulations, and there would be very little controversy other than the fact there would be question marks over the authenticity of Latifi's crash. But the sport itself, had they have released the lapped cars now, had they been able to have done that, then they could have carried out the procedures correctly and we would have had that one racing lap legally. They weren't able to do that. The reason they weren't able to do that is because right now there are still marshals on the track. I've proven it many, many times. And I'll just show you again, for those of you that are new to the channel that haven't seen the other videos, I will show you what is going on at turn 14 right now. So just so you know this tallies up, this is the location of the cars. You've got Sonoda entering turn 5 at this stage. Gasly having just come around turn 1. We'll go to the large screen version of this. So we'll go over to here. I'm 2 seconds on from this.
Really? Yeah, box.
So it's this location here. And at this location here, where we've just heard, stay online, Max. The lapped cars are going to be allowed to overtake. And then it'll be going, not. The lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake. Let's go to Nicholas Latifi's camera. So this is Latifi's car being craned, okay? This is at turn 14. You can't see this. Let me, well, you can there. That point there are marshals on the track, right there, by the barrier, with the white powder on the track. 1, 2, at least 3 marshals on the track. That is exactly that moment in time. There they are. There are the marshals. Right there. You cannot release those lapped cars when that track isn't safe. It's not safe to do so. There they are. You can see them moving though on the track. Sweeping. At least 3 marshals. Still on the track. Let's see if it comes around. Can't show you continuous footage because they will block this on copyright. But if you have F1 TV, you can do this yourself. Have a look at Nicholas Latifi's car camera. The one where, when he crashes and his engine is still running, he makes no attempt whatsoever to try and move the car. His race engineer just goes, yeah, just switch the engine off. Nothing about, oh, can you make it back? Let's see if we pan round to the track again to see if there are. I don't know if we do. Oh, here we are. There you go. It's very blurry, but you've got the orange overall marshals still on the track. And there they are. Okay, they're the orange overall marshals still on the track right there. Now, at what point in time is that? If we go back to tracker view, and let's see where they are.
Decision.
So by this stage, all that time that I've spent going through that footage, showing you that the marshal's still on the track, you have now this safety car, Snake, coming into turn 13. So as they're approaching turn 13, the one before 14, there are still marshals on the track. They have to run off the track. They have to get to the engine. Then you see them jumping over the barriers as this safety car, Snake, comes by.
It's classic.
I'm not surprised.
And look at when they're playing it to the world on the global feed. Because you're going to be hearing this on Max Verstappen's video now. You're going to be hearing this message.
Cancel that. Lap cars will not be allowed to overtake.
Yeah, of course. Typical decision.
It's classic.
I'm not surprised.
10 seconds, that is. You're going to hear that now in the other video of Max Verstappen's actual audio, and it takes 20 seconds because the gaps in between those words are a lot different. And they're coming around the track now.
I'll try and look at this objectively. We should get 1 lap of racing here. If we allowed the lap cars to overtake.
And if we go back to the global feed.
And Max.
There's the Marshals on the track.
Max Verstappen and Jean-Pierre Lambiase as race engineer. Do they want the chance, or do they want to finish behind the safety car?
3.
No overtaking.
And the broom is still there. Track isn't safe. Still a broom on it. Track isn't safe.
Race engineer.
And now, Mick Schumacher, the last of them lap cars, the white dot here, that's about turn 14. Well, he's not making it past Hamilton before Hamilton crosses the start-finish line to begin lap 57. That is a safety car finish. No two ways about it. That is a safety car finish. But what we'll do, we'll have a look at back at the video and listen to what's just about to take place.
Stay online, let them go off the racing line. Cancel that. Lap cars will not be allowed to overtake.
Yeah, cancel that. Lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake. Why would that be? Well, firstly, race control was desperate to allow lapped cars to overtake because rather than being focused on safety here, rather than carrying out procedure which is based on the safety of those marshals on the track, they were desperate to create the drama. They were desperate to create the show. Your mind shouldn't be on the show. Your mind should be on, okay, something has happened. Now, the only thing that needs to be considered is clearing this up safely. Once that is done, we talk about the resumption of competition. But until that time, we're not going to be cutting corners to resume competition. Okay, ultimately, the competition has stopped now because of a safety concern. We deal with safety concern first. That's the way it is. That's the way that these regulations operate. You were desperate to release the lapped cars because you knew you had to do it this lap in order to actually get a racing resumption. There were marshals still on track. You couldn't do that. But you still first tried to force it through, and then you realised you couldn't do it because if you did that and somebody got killed, you'd be jailed for it. Michael Massey, the clerk of the course as well, they would have been imprisoned for negligence. The negligent loss of life due to their decision making. That's what they'd have been guilty of. Neglect. So they couldn't do that. They had to say, no, you can't overtake yet. And that's what it was. It's all on the grounds of safety. Now, that was at that moment in time. Now, we didn't know at that stage that it was going to take all that length of time, did we? At this moment in time, right now, there is no guarantee. There's nothing to say that that can't be all cleared up as they're coming to turn 8. In 15 seconds' time, will it be clear then? It might have been. You could have released those lapped cars then. But we don't get that, do we? We don't get that. We get this.
Yeah, of course. Typical decision.
Well, it's not a typical decision because it's all on the grounds of safety. If the track isn't safe, then you can't release the lapped cars. So earlier this lap, we've had Max say, oh, we need to get these lapped cars out of the way. Okay, stay online, Max. They're about to get out of the way. Oh, cancel that. They're not going to be getting out of the way. Oh, typical decision. It's not a typical decision, Max, is it? You think you're hard done by, okay, but it's not a typical decision. The decision is made on the grounds of safety and that it's not possible to carry out that procedure yet. And if it's not possible to carry out that procedure yet, then you have to carry on lapping behind the safety car. It's nothing confusing about it. You're not being hard done by. They're dealing with a safety incident. You continue dealing with that safety incident until it is safe. And then you carry out that procedure.
It's classic.
It's classic, is it? It's classic. What's classic about it? This is what you're projecting to the world. Let's project to the strap-on fanboy that, oh, we're also harshly being treated here. It's classic. Once again, you had no luck all year, Max. You had no luck all year. You absolutely deserved it, Max. It's classic. Once again, they're trying to screw you over, Max. It's classic. No. What it is Marshals on track, dickhead. Marshals on track. What part of that do you not understand, you fuck pig? Fucking arsehole. Marshals on track. It's classic. It's classic.
I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised. You're not surprised. Let's go back through this again. Narrative.
These back markers need to get out of the way. They should unlock themselves.
Lap 56. This is the crucial lap. These back markers should get out of the way. That's not the purpose. Why are you projecting that as the purpose? Brundle and Crofty project that as the purpose. Oh, but they'll all get blue flags, of course.
Yep, they will once that message comes through.
And what determines whether that message comes through? Giampiero Lambesi, or I don't give a shit what your name is, actually, mate, you're a prick. When that message comes through, what determines whether that message comes through? Well, what determines it is whether the track is safe or not. Is that track safe? I've just demonstrated it's not. I've just proven to you with the footage that there were marshals on track clearing that track up. It's not safe. Why do race control actually give... In fact, back here at between turns 2 and 3, Leclerc's race engineer is telling them it's not going to happen. That's what's actually happening. And I'll show you that. So, have a look at this. This is obviously the bigger screen version of it. This is Charles Leclerc. This red dot, right? He's running in about 12th place, no, 11th place now. Sergio Perez is just, you'll see here, pit. He's just retiring. This is the end of his lap 55. So these are now on lap 56, right?
But he would have taken a whack, and it's good to see that he's okay. Sergio Perez
is in the mix. On the global feed, they were showing originally the replay of the Latifi crash, and then they cut to Perez retiring, and they'll show us loads of different camera angles of the Red Bull pit crew retiring Perez, and then they'll pan round to Mercedes, and oh, the Mercedes looking so frustrated that they weren't able to pit Hamilton. The tyre narrative, yeah, that one. But then we get Charlie Leclerc. Here we go. Leclerc's car camera just having passed turn 2.
So no unlap.
So no unlap.
We'll go straight for a restart.
We go straight for a restart. So that's there. And then if we go back, I can't show you a continuous footage.
I think they're retiring the car here. Perez into the pits for the 4th time. I didn't understand why, but I think they are retiring the...
And we go back to strap-on. Here he is. That one there. Oh. Need to try and get this out of view. Otherwise they'll block it.
Okay, so stay online, Max. Those lap cars are now being allowed to overtake.
That's conflicting information, isn't it? So this is, again, what we're seeing is that run down to turn 6. The big long straight at the top of the screen, run down to turn 6. So let's go back to here where we were.
Okay, so stay online, Max. Those lap cars are now being allowed to overtake. Stay online. Let them go off the racing line. Sorry, cancel that. Lap cars will not be allowed to overtake.
Yeah, of course. Typical decision.
It's classic.
I'm not surprised.
Max isn't surprised. rather pragmatic of Max, isn't it? Rather pragmatic. Max, your hopes, your dreams of a world championship, well, for this season, they appear to be slipping away from you. But you're not surprised. Because every time before this and every time since, when something happens that doesn't go your way, Max has a temper tantrum. Max throws his rattle out of the pram. The dummy goes flying from Max, and Max starts going beep, beep, beep. What the F is his problem? Yeah, but no, this time, Max can be quite pragmatic about it. He can accept defeat, and he just knows, okay, unfortunately, Nicholas Latifi's crashed. The time it's going to take to clear this up is far too long. We cannot put the lives of those marshals at risk by trying to force an ending to this race. We know that we have to restore sporting fairness to all competitors, and therefore it's not likely that we can go racing again this lap. And it's that therefore it would be a typical decision that you're not going to release lap cars until things are safe. And it's not surprising, is it, Max? So, the Constructors' Champion, Mercedes will be Constructors' Champions as it stands, providing Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas can get to the end. No, they already are. But the Drivers' Championship is still up for grabs. Well, really? You can't go racing until the lap cars have unlapped and been given that further lap. It's not going to happen, is it? Because we know that when we get to the end of this lap, the Marshals are jumping over the barriers. And then we're on to lap 57. It's a safety car finish. But we're not talking about the global feed. We're not talking about Brundle and Crofty's lies, their narrative. They're priming the global audience for the exciting finish that we all got to see. We're focusing on the interaction between Max. What have you heard so far from Max? A man whose world championship is on the line. You've heard how many laps have we got? And, well, you give them the wrong information. We've heard, oh, these lapped cars need to get out of the way. Oh, they will do, Max. They will do. Stay online. They're about to unlock. Oh, they're not. Oh, it's a typical decision. It's classic, isn't it? All very jovial, isn't it? Carlos Sainz is saying, you need to get these cars out of the way. Get on the phone to Michael. Get on the phone to Michael. Carlos Sainz, get on the phone to Michael. This isn't okay. Get this sorted. What is going on here? Get this sorted. These lapped cars need to unlap. What is going on? Would you not be asking those questions? Would you not be asking those questions? If it was you, if it was your world championship, and you thought that whatever they were pissing around with in the background, you'd want to know, hey, I want to know what's going on here. Are they going to unlap these or what? You wouldn't be going, ha, I'm not surprised. It's a typical decision, isn't it? I'm not surprised. That's not Max Verstappen, is it? That's not Max Verstappen. And the simple answer you give to the world as the Red Bull race engineer is, Max, I'm seeing what's going on at turn 14. There's still marshals on the track. There's still marshals on the track. They're clearing up the debris. It's not possible to carry out this procedure. Instead, you got Gianpiero Lambesi going, oh, it's classic. It's a typical decision. I'm not surprised. It's classic. Fueling the fire of the Red Bull strap-on fanboy. Filthy fucker. That's what he is. He's a filthy fucker. So, end of lap 56, 2 laps remaining. We're going to go on to lap 57. Even if those lapped cars are released this lap, then lap 58 will be a safety car lap. It's a safety car finish. That's the way it is. That is the way it is. You cannot resume racing with lapped cars in situ. Have you heard Giampiero Lambiase? Have you heard him say, B-ball offset? Yeah, adjust the front to rear brake bias to cool your brakes or increase your braking temperature in the correct manner during this safety car period. You've heard him say, can you have engine strut mode 3, please? Engine strut mode 3, please, Max. You've heard him say that, or whatever he said, and that's about it. You haven't, keep the temperature in those tyres. Adjust the brake bar offset, recharge on, or anything. No, it's all radio silence from the Red Bull team. Radio silence. The less you say, the less that it can be scrutinised. The less that anybody might think that something's going on here. But the importance is the silence. The silence. It's telling. This is your World Championship that's on the line. The jeopardy. Yeah, what's he doing here? What's the race engineer doing here? Well, it's a safety car finish now. 2 laps to go.
Keep working the tyres up.
Finally, you tell him to keep working the tyres when you know it's a safety car finish. You know, the regulations of the sport are that we're now on to lap 57, and even if they release the lapped cars this lap, the safety car will return to the pits at the end of the following lap. And you're telling him now to keep warming the tyres.
Keep working the tyres up. Plenty of brakes on. Keep working the tyres up. Plenty of brakes on.
I didn't quite get that. If anybody can break that down, then please do so. Okay, I don't know what he said after keep working the tyres. Still silence from Max. You know, Max is involved in this sport. There's a lap and a bit to go now. There's the end of your world title, Max. That's the end of your world championship. You came second. Sad that, isn't it? We're not getting the radio gaga from Max, are we? We're not getting it, Max. We've all gone quiet over there.
I think all the cars ahead of you are going to pass Hamilton. Everybody behind you will stay in position.
Yay! What's going on here? This isn't in the rules of the sport. What's going on here? We think all the cars ahead of you are going to get out of your way, Max. But nobody behind you, we don't care about them. Stay online, Max, stay online. In fact, you know, you don't need to worry about staying online. You can continue weaving around to warm your tyres, Max. Warm those fresh, soft compound tyres. Hamilton has to stay online, though. He's not allowed to weave around while those 5 cars are lapping him. You don't have to worry about that, Max. You can weave as much as you like, okay? Because every car behind you, they're staying where they are. But Hamilton, no, he has to stay online and not weave while those cars are passing him.
Yeah, so everybody up to Vettel are allowed to overtake Hamilton.
Okay. So, situation is, Max. Lewis didn't pit, as on 44 lap old hard tyres. Car behind you is Sainz, so he'll have hard compound tyres or medium compound tyres. Behind him's Bottas. Oh, we're not hearing this, are we? Who could potentially be a threat to you on any race resumption? Well, it's not allowed to take place anyway. We're not hearing this, are we, Red Bull? Go and check out everybody else's audio. If they've got a car behind them, then their race engineer is communicating to them, on any kind of restart, well, this kind of restart's not allowed, but on any kind of restart, the car behind you will have these tyres on, and therefore, this is what you need to be wary of. It's not there, is it?
Safety car is in this lap, Max.
Smooth. And it's ending. Wow. We're not excited about this. 12 seconds behind. Now it's all a bastardised set of rules just to give you the chance.
Everybody up to Vettel are allowed to overtake Hamilton. Safety car is in this lap, Max. Mode 1 and Strat 1. Mode 1, Strat 1. And B-bell offset when you need it. B-bell offset.
Finally, yeah. Finally, we were working too much behind the scenes, weren't we? To worry about informing of these throughout that procedure. It's only now that we're focusing on that.
This is it, mate. This
is it. What's it? This is it. Be careful about that car behind you that might attack you on the restart. Oh no, we don't have to worry about that, do we?
Is it? Just think about your tools you need.
Think about the tools you need. Yes, the Red Bull team full of tools.
Safety car turn 14. Remember, you're racing from the line. Safety car turn.
Yeah, remember you're racing from the line, Max. No overtaking beforehand. Oh shit, he's overtaken. Don't worry, the stewards won't give you a 5-second penalty for that.
15. Watch the weaving.
Watch the weaving, Max. Watch the weaving. So that's another penalty. Okay, you're not allowed to do that. Oh, the FIA won't worry about that, though, will they? No, they don't. They don't penalise Max.
Stay online now.
Oh, we've finally got some emotion. Watch the weaving, Max. Stay online now. You know, we're finally getting something in the voice there of Giampiero Lambiase. We're finally getting something. Oh, a bit of emotion, bit of potential jeopardy that wasn't present at all from the moment Nicholas Latifi crashed. It was all cashier number 6, please.
Okay, press and hold the overtake. Press and hold the overtake. Just easy through turn 14.
Because they've still not fully brushed off all that white powder and it might be a bit slippy through there. And I can't play that audio. It's copyrighted now. It's copyrighted. The Max Verstappen, you are... I'll play it what I actually said on the first video because I took over in commentary, I think, from now on. Oh my lord, Max. Oh my lord. Max Verstappen, you are the world champion. The world champion. Max, you had no luck all year. You absolutely deserved it, Max. You absolutely deserved it. You had no luck whatsoever. No luck whatsoever when the stewards didn't penalise you for what you did crowding on the track at Spain 2021. You had no luck whatsoever for what you did at Imola 2021, crowding a car off the track. You had no luck whatsoever for what you did at Silverstone, causing a crash. You had no luck whatsoever for going off the track at turn 1 on that one at Silverstone. Oh, nothing to see here. Cashier number 6, please. You had no luck whatsoever being gifted the victory of the Belgian parade. You had no luck whatsoever when you went off the track at turn 1 in France. Didn't rejoin the track by going through the array of barriers in the required manner, and nothing to see here. And there was no race. You had no luck whatsoever when you forced Lewis Hamilton off the track at the chicane at Monza. You had no luck whatsoever when you landed on Lewis Hamilton's head at Monza. You had no luck whatsoever when you drove Lewis Hamilton 5 car widths off the track at Brazil and didn't get penalised. You had no luck whatsoever at Saudi when you drove Lewis Hamilton off the track at turn 1. You re-entered the track at turn 1 in an unsafe manner, causing Lewis Hamilton to drop a place. You brake tested Lewis Hamilton at Saudi. Should have been black flagged. You had no luck whatsoever at lap 1 this race when you crowded a car off the track and didn't get penalty. You had no luck whatsoever, Max. You had no luck whatsoever in them breaking the rules for the restart. You had no luck whatsoever in going ahead of Lewis Hamilton before that restart, breaching the regulations again. No penalty. You had no luck whatsoever in weaving between turn 5 and turn 6 during a racing condition without penalty. This is what it took to manufacture Max Verstappen as the phony world champion. That's what it took. But that's a fraud. This is sport fixing. This is a contrivance that is perpetrated by the entire sport. Understand that. Okay? What it took for this to happen was the governing body of the sport had to break the rules of the sport to enable one competitor to win it. The governing body of the sport decides that's a corrupt governing body. That's a governing body that's not fit to govern a sport when they break the rules to manufacture the outcome. Manufacturing the outcome of a sport is a fraud. When people bet their money on the outcome of a sport, if a governing body, the officials of the sport, break the rules of the sport to manufacture the winner, that is corruption, that is fraud. In order to make people not see it straight away, you had to be lied to. They had to lie to you about what those rules actually are. The media lied to you about what those rules are and what they're for and what was possible before they were broken by the governing body. Understand that. Martin Brundle, David Croft of Sky Sports F1 were lying to you about the rules of the sport before Michael Massey broke them rules of the sport. Michael Massey is not alone. There are 10 people from FIA in race control. They all know the rules of the sport. That's their job, to know the rules and regulations of this sport. And yet Massey is the fool guy that they pin it on. Every team knows the rules of that sport. They know what it's all about because they actually determine their strategy on those rules and regulations. They all went along with the governing body breaking those rules to set up that last lap shootout. They all did it. And then every form of media since has just parroted the same narrative. Oh, it was confusing. It was controversial. No, it was global corruption. It was a crime. It was fraud. Which of the global media has informed you that this was a fraud? This is a crime. People need to be held to account for it for criminal charges. Criminal charges. Who's saying that? Nobody in the media. Why is that? Well, because there's a lot of money at stake. A lot of money at stake. Liberty Media grew in value by $4.8 billion in that 2021 season. The owners of Liberty Media are JC Malone, and he owns a lot of media. Who has stakes in Liberty Media? Will that be the likes of BlackRock, Vanguard, and various other massive financial conglomerates over in the United States? They don't want one of the things that they've got an investment in to devalue. They've got investments in every other form of media, so they've got partial ownership of every other form of media. So they make sure that every other form of media doesn't say the truth. They don't expose the fraud. That way they don't expose that Liberty Media is guilty of the fraud, that this sport of Formula One is guilty of a fraud, and hence devaluing it. And when you realise that, you then start realising that this is far greater than just Formula One. The same dynamics apply in everything that impacts our life. If something is making money for those massive multinationals, it can be illegal and nobody will reveal it. They will just continue making money. They will divert your attention elsewhere. They will dress the situation up as being something completely different, and they do so by utilizing their media that they own to make it appear to each and every one of us, oh yeah, but it's because of this, it's because of this, and it's not. It's criminality. We do have laws, but it appears that those people that are enforcing the laws aren't being tasked with actually challenging what this wrongdoing is. Seems that money controls everything, doesn't it? Sport should be pure. Sport should be something that, well, merit and meritocracy. You rise to the top based on your ability. Shouldn't be contrived. Sadly, they make us believe that life is a meritocracy. You can have the chance of rising to the top based on your ability. That's not how it works, though, is it? It's not how it works. How many things determine, really, what your ultimate chances in life are going to be? And only you know what has impacted your chances in life. But it's not based on meritocracy, is it? It's not about necessarily how good you are relative to those around you that's determined the position that you've attained in life. Anyway, that'll do on this video. Next up, Lewis Hamilton's audio, along with the video after that about the analysis of it. Please add your comments to this video, because there might be numerous things. There's highly likely that I've missed out on numerous things that are relevant in that video. I'm just focusing on the things that aren't there, that should be there. And if you were in that situation with that much on the line, that's not an authentic communication between yourself and your race engineer when you've got the chance of becoming a world champion of a sport. That's not authentic. Thank you for your time.